Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and it looks like I'm here with the mannequin head. Say hi. Hi. Anyway, she keeps me entertained all day. So today I put together a video for you finally on my sales for the month of June. I haven't done this in a while, only because I feel like the sales have not been all that great. So I realized that it doesn't matter. I'm doing my best. I have been listing and promoting and running sales and doing everything I should. And it's just because it's June. It's the summertime and everybody's out doing stuff. So I still put together my sales video to show you what has been selling for the month of June. I did the top 25. Let's just jump right in and I'll show you what did sell. All right, so these are some of the better sales that I had throughout the month of June in 2021. And I've had other sales besides this, but these are some of the top ones and certain things I want to talk about with each one. So let's just start with this first one, which is the Buchan Portobello Scotland stoneware jug, which I found at a yard sale for about $1. And it's been up for maybe 6 months or so, but it still ended up selling for $28.99 on best offer, and they're all in at $44.92. Then we have some coral earrings. Coral is the brand, and they are such pretty pink earrings. They were listed for $18.99 and I sold them on a best offer for $16.99. They're all in at $22.95, and these are clip style earrings, so clip earrings still sell. Next one is this witch Halloween mask. All these vintage masks from the 80s and the 70s, they still sell and they sell well. People are always looking for these vintage masks. This one I did take a best offer, or it was on sale for $20.95, and they're all in at $25.75. It was really lightweight to ship. Then I had two of these. I've actually bought a box of these, so I think there's 6 or 8 in there, and several of them were still in their original package. So I sold 2 of these to one person for $49.98. They were all in at $66.18, and I paid probably a couple dollars for each one. This next one is a Christmas 3-pack that I put together. I just had some sporadic little Christmas vintage pieces that they all kind of went together, so I threw them together and listed them for $29.95, and they ended up selling for $20 on best offer. They're all in at $29.05. This next one you might want to keep an eye out for. It's a 18-inch Christopher Robin plush doll, and I found it at a yard sale for $1. It wasn't even marked, but I asked the gentleman how much, and he said, oh, $1. So keep your eye out for this. He's kind of long, so 18 inches. It sold for $38.99, and they were all in at $49.31. I also bought a whole bunch of belt buckles recently. I've been experimenting in belt buckles. I know some of them do well and others don't, but I never really have a problem selling them. It's just for how much. So this one was the first one out of this one bunch to sell, and it's a leather one. It's nicely done, stamped leather. It's a Longhorn Bull belt buckle, and it sold for $25, and they are all in at $31.93. This next brand picture is a Fiore ware, and it's an art pottery, and you might want to keep an eye out for this brand. They do have lots of different patterns, and I had bought this piece on an online auction with several other pieces that matched it, but I'm selling them individually. It sold for $60, and they're all in at $79.90. This next one was brand new with the tags at a thrift store, and I think I paid maybe $4 for it or so, and it's ended up selling on best offer of $38.99, and they are all in at $50.09. As you can see here, it has the Royal Camel House tag on it. When I picked it up, when I was going through the rack of blankets, I felt it, And I was thinking it was wool, but when I pulled it out and looked at the tag, it actually said acrylic, 90% acrylic, 5% cotton, and 5% polyester, which I was really surprised about. And it was made in Italy, just different than what you normally see, so I looked it up and they had good prices on them, so I picked it up. This next item is a micro mosaic brooch. As you can see when you look closer, it did have a couple little flaws. It was missing a couple little pieces. It's still sold for $25. These are kind of sought after. This one does not have Italy on the back, but I've had several of them that have, and you can see the pin on it is different. I think it's got a C clasp. Here we go. That means it's older. It's probably from the early 1900s, and they actually put each of these little pieces in. They set these in. You can only imagine how long it took to do this piece. So $25 is really cheap for this. I'm sure you could probably sell it for more, maybe on Etsy. This Emerson Electric Company book was brand new, still sealed, never looked at. I've had this up for probably 6 months, but I knew when the right person was looking for it, it would sell. And it sold for $34.95, and they're all in at $43.89. Next one is a Brittany Pitcher. It was in an open box, but everything was new. Everything's still sealed, the filter and everything, as you can see. And it was at an estate sale, and I paid $5 for it. The shipping on this was high, so it took maybe a couple months to sell. So it did sell for $39.95, and they're all in at $63.47. This next one is the St. Louis Cardinals camp shirt. I believe this is one of the promo shirts. Yeah, it says promo, the Shane from Shane Company, that they give away when you go to the ball game. And this, I found a couple of them. I found one at one yard sale and one at another yard sale, but we live 30 miles from St. Louis, so the Cardinals is our team, and I find these quite often. I find Cardinal shirts all the time, so if you ever need any, let me know. I'll find you something. So it sold for $24.95. They're all in at $29.75. This next one was a yard sale find. It's Adidas Pants, brand new with the tags. I also found one that was worn, but this one sold for $38. They're all in at $44.30. This next one is a Barbie Camping Set. It sold for $26.39. They're all in at $40.77. I never pass up Barbie stuff. I just cannot seem to pass it up. So when you get a bunch, like a Rubbermaid full or a box full, you seem to be able to put groupings together that will sell. And I think I paid $10 for this whole box, and I probably got 5 different lots out of it. So please keep your eye out for Barbie stuff, especially the vintage from like the 70s and 80s. The accessory stuff and the clothes, they all do well. This next one is actually kind of funny. I had a Ninja coffee maker, and it stopped working on me basically, but the parts on it were still good. So I sold it off in parts, and this was one of them. So it sold for $22.95, and they're all in at $38.70. I had to wrap it up good because of the glass, and I think I made as much money on the parts because they sold fairly fast. And this guy was thrilled. He's like, "Thank you, you made my day." But I think I made enough on these to buy my new machine, which was $100. So always don't throw your old appliances away, part them out. So the next one is a Coogie shirt, or Coogie, yeah. And it is a pretty high-end name brand. I found this at a yard sale for like $1. And it did have one little hole, I think, where the tag was. Yeah, right there. So other than that, it took a little bit to sell, and I think it was because of the hole. So it sold for $24.95, the asking price, and they're all in at $29.80. This next one, it just cannot pass these Ralph Lauren sweaters up. This one was a vintage one, a cardigan. It was lamb's wool besides that, and it's a 2X, a good selling size. It sold for $45, and they were all in at $60.03. This next one is actually kind of interesting. I paid $1 for this and another one, which was a porthole, and I paid $1, and it's 17 inches long, so this thing is big. It's a resin piece. If you can, let me turn it, find the back. You kind of see, I don't have a full picture of the back. Anyway, it is like resin on the back, and it's kind of thick, and it was from New Wave Production, and it sold for $40. Now I think that was, but yeah, it was best offer, and they're all in at $95.59. This next one is a really pretty glass iridescent crystal necklace, vintage. It was 24 inches. It's pretty, really pretty. These pictures do not do it justice. It's got the iridescent look to it. Anyway, it sold for $24.95, and they're all in at $29.44. This next one is a fossil purse. It sold for $20, and they're all in at $32.58. Just nice, clean. It unzips to make it expand. And Fossil always sells for me, usually around $20, unless it's a bigger purse. But I always pick up Fossil purses if they're in good shape. Another thing I also pick up are these aluminum cups from the 70s, and I remember drinking out of these, and I remember the water always tasting like aluminum, so I do not like them, but they do sell. This one's Norbenware, and it was 50 cents or so at a yard sale. Could not believe she only had 50 cents on them, so I snatched them up, and they sold for $30. And they're all in at $45.38. Then I sold this large piece of pottery. It's a planter, and it wasn't anything extra special. I think it was a store-bought one that's pretty common, but the colors are just so pretty. And it was a molded piece, and it sold for $31. This thing was pretty heavy. I always ship my glass and my ceramic ware in 2 boxes. I find one that fits the product real tight, not tight, but close, and then I put that in another bigger box and put paper around it, or air pockets, air bubbles. That one with shipping cost $64.15. This next one I picked up at a yard sale that was closing up. I walked through her yard sale so fast, and this is actually pink, and these pictures do not really show that it's pink. Here's a better one. It's so pretty, and bought it for $2. Got in the car, and I noticed that it has this chip, as you can see better on this picture. But the person still bought it. They paid $27.99, and they're all in at $56.86 on this piece. You just don't see them in pink very often. Last one is these Merrell Jungle women's shoes. I've sold these once. They came back because they didn't fit right, but they loved them, they said. And I resold them again, this time for $31.16. I think the first time I sold them for about $35. They're all in at $41.86. Now these were the top 25 of my sales for June. It has been a really slow month, and there's nothing I can do about it. I did everything I could. I sent out offers. I promoted listings. I ran sales. I listed probably 6 days a week. Some days I would, like on the weekends, I kind of tend to list only maybe 3 to 5 items, like on Saturday, but Sunday I just take off because I devote a lot of time to my business during the week. So here's what my sales ended up for. It's only June 28th, so the month ain't completely over with, but I just pulled from May 28th till today, and you can see my sales are down 5% this month, which I've had $6,000 months, so this is really low for me, and I expect that because it is summertime and people are out and about doing their thing and vacationing and spending money on that, and it'll pick up again. I'm pretty confident in that. So my sales were $3,211, and I sold 94 items, and my selling cost was about $1,100. So my net sales is real close to $2,000. So if you divide that by 4 weeks, you've got about a $500 a week. I'm not totally happy with that. I'm always trying to improve my business, so this will go up, but it's still overall not a bad month. I really was surprised in the end because you could see that I could feel it. Look at this graph here. I've had such better days in the beginning, and then it got sporadic, and maybe I might sell one item here, one item here, and it's just been slow. But some of the items that I've sold this month are a little higher priced items. I have been trying to avoid the $10 and under items at all. So that is my sales for June. I hope this helped you in some way. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And we will send you a notification when the next one comes out. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the next one.